What is going on, everybody? Nasdorachi coming back at you again today with another episode for Dragon Ball Legends. And as of yesterday, the final stage for the Bardock Challenge Rush event came out, completing the event. So I figured we could do some type of impromptu guide for that event, for the beating the AI. It's actually one of the least difficult challenge rushes I think I've ever played. But that is coming from a perspective of having access to a whole bunch of characters. These stages are kind of designed to be more rewarding for players that have been around for a while, or again, just have a large access to the roster. With that being said, I will be showing off the teams that I use to beat all of the stages and some gameplay of at least the final two stages. I don't want the video to drag on too long, people to get bored and navigate away. You pretty much fight all the stages in the exact same way that I'm going to show off when I do finally get to the fourth stage, because that's the hardest of the way the first four stages are structured, and then after that the fifth stage is completely different from the way that everything else is structured, and we'll have a couple of special ways of taking that one on. So we are going to jump in again and cover all of the teams. I want to briefly just run through those so you at least have an idea of what I used. Then we will show off the Mugi Boost technique again that I discussed in the Raditz level 51 video. That technique is extremely valuable for just clearing out all of these AI stages very easily, because if you bring the right teams, the AI's defenses are actually not too remarkable. You do plenty of damage to them. They just also do a pretty absurd amount of damage back to you. So you want to make sure you just take advantage of confusing the AI and just limiting its ability to cheese you with its hyper buffed stats. So again, bring up some gameplay here, go over a couple teams, we'll jump in and showcase the most recent stages. So, hopping into the event here, Challenge Rush Team Bardock. The first stage is, what does it say? Sagas from the movies and only 3 future characters. The 140 counts can be again done quite easily if you do the Mugi Boost. We will be showing that off once again later on. So, I didn't mean to click out of that. The movies team, pretty well known. I actually had to get rid of it to make room for other teams to show up for this video. But this is the movies team I'm running right here in the middle of the screen. For this battle, I used Janemba, and then I used the Gohan, and then I used the transforming Vegeta. Just keep that in your head, and we're gonna jump back to the actual stage itself. So, against the first character, Janemba, you could also use Tapion as another great example of a character you could use in that slot, or even like Metal Cooler if you absolutely have to. And then for the second character for purple coverage, of course I used Gohan, and he's been available quite a decent amount. I'm hoping that most characters have access to him in at least some capacity, but if you don't, you have other yellow options like the yellow Bojack, I suppose, maybe, or EX Broly would probably be a much better option if you wanted to go non-sparking. And then for Fasha, you can easily cover with the transforming Vegeta, or if you're lucky and pulled the new Broly, that would work out quite well also. Now for the second set of challenges again, we had just Future only. So for Future, I ran the Rosé for the EX Bardock. I ran the yellow Goku Black, who I don't even have Zenkai, and this was fairly simple. But if you had him Zenkai, that's going to make this even easier for you. And because Future has no good blue unit really whatsoever, I did just bring the red Zamasu because he's got the endurance and can heal. So that kind of just protected me from the AI's kind of ridiculous usage of Rising Rush, if that was necessary. So that's what I ran. Hopefully we do get some type of reasonable blue unit for Future here soon. I'm definitely thinking that that is up and coming shortly. Most likely, at the very minimum I could see at least, on this Trunks and, Imperfect Cell V-Jump leak we just had. I think that hopefully one of them would be Future in blue. And if not that, potentially a more hype unit for the anniversary. But we're not going to get off on a tangent too much on that here today. So this one right here, structured this way, was not too difficult to beat. Again, we'll show off gameplay when we get to the 4th and 5th stages. For stage 2 here, we have Androids and Lineage of Evil, both also very well-known teams. Now the Androids has multiple builds that you could use to take it on. I, of course, used the 21 style of build, so scrolling over to that right here. brought the Majin 21, then the base 21, and then the red Android 18. Of course, they're all androids, so it works out well. You can go with more classic androids using Fusion 13, and the blue base form 13, and purple 17 if you need to. That would probably work. Or you could go with the battle bonus characters, but again, androids, probably one of the two builds I just mentioned. The second one was Lineage of Evil. So I started with the purple transforming cooler. You could probably use the EX third form Frieza as well if you needed to. Then I used blue final form cooler, and then finished up with the red transforming Frieza. You could also use the red metal cooler. That would get you through this pretty easily as well. Provide you with some team heals if you absolutely needed them. Also, cover any mistakes you potentially made. That was pretty simple for those two stages there. At this point, things started to get a little bit more challenging, but still not really. Just the presence of this red Bardock complicates things a little bit, because the AI can do some pretty wonky stuff with him having multiple health bars. He use his main abilities twice and stuff. So, for this one right here, 3 GT characters and battle with 2 Fusion Warrior characters or more. Those challenges actually made this stage, it compensates for the obnoxiousness of that red Bardock, because you have powerful options for your teams to get the challenges done. Of course, with GT, we ran with the baby starting off. Then I actually just ran Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta to cover Tora again. You don't really need a yellow. If you have Sin Shenron, you could bring him, but I did not. So I brought Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then I brought, of course, Super Saiyan 4 Goku to cover Borgos. That was not too difficult. For fusions, I just used my, fusions team I've been grinding out PvP with, which is going to be right here. Started off with, of course, blue transforming Gogeta into the transforming Vegito, finishing with LF Vegito. So that was what I ran for that one. Again, very powerful teams make that stage pretty easy to clear. Now, Battle 4, we could actually play this one out, because this is the first one where it's a little wonky. It's like mono blue enemies, and you have to use the female warriors. So that would be, I guess, a good team to showcase that I used to get through this one here. Where did I put them? The regeneration version of this, before we jump in and actually play one, we'll just cover that too really quickly. Very, very simple. Just brought Buhan for damage. He's pretty much able to kill all 3 of them very easily. Zenkai Buu, it makes your defense and healing. And then Baby, just to boost said healing and provide time to waste to, throw in front of a Rising Rush, or while you're waiting for other characters to cool down, their vanishes are up. So, the regeneration was pretty simple, but we could jump in and do a clear here, again with the female warriors, and just what I did to beat this one. Show off the Mugi boost, which is the technique that I did use to clear all of the previous stages as well. Now, the females, I didn't have too many just straight up green options. Like, you could bring, I guess, like the EX green Android 18 or something like that if you just wanted those green buffs. But I didn't. I found that 21 and Mai did pretty much just fine on their own. So, jumping into this stage here, we're just going to do this to show off the Mugi boost one more time. Get through that there. And just doing this little float step technique right here. Just that motion that I'm doing right there. Just drifting forward 1 row, getting ki back, getting cards back, letting vanish meter recharge. The AI at this point in the game does not know how to handle it. And that makes this technique just supremely easy for clearing all of these AI stages. Now, with the female warriors using this Mai right here, I don't believe that I got the time challenge, but when you do this with regeneration, it's actually quite simple. Switch over to her here. Again, just AI mishandling what it's supposed to be doing. It's fine for us. Let's get a lot of debuffs on Shugash. Him having 2 health bars, if you don't kill him quickly, he ends up locking himself in twice, which is actually quite amusing. Just keep floating here. So he's already locked himself in once there now. We'll switch to Majin, just to continue things here a little bit. Just keep floating. And this is not me trying to brag. It's just showing off this technique here. Like, we haven't even been touched once yet. The AI is just kind of farting around, swapping, doing inappropriate actions to handle these little floating techniques we're using here. You just keep going, it just keeps going. Toro's usually not too defensive, so maybe we can break one of them here. Hopefully just get this fight done as quickly as we can. You see, like, these are challenging fights if you aren't using this technique. Like, the AI does do quite a bit of damage. But in this situation, it just doesn't really seem like it knows what to do. Oh, we could just... Oh, he swapped. And just keep it going. There we go. Broke Shugesh there. He's gonna destroy my Dragon Balls if I kill him, so hopefully he does actually switch. Dude, if Shugesh hits with that, it does an absurd amount of damage. Crazy, crazy amounts of damage. Alright. Shugesh, so swap out. I don't want to destroy my own Dragon Balls here. There we go. There we go. Oh, we're so far into the fight. This is the first time we've really been hit now. That's because it perfect vanished my tap attack. Still, very powerful demonstration of not only how much damage in one combo almost killed my poor Mai here, and that's on type disadvantage for the computer. I had the advantage. And it's just waiting to perfect vanish me. Yep, we saw that one coming there. Yeah. Shugesh, he's gonna die. He's gonna destroy our Dragon Balls. It's all good. I didn't really want that to happen, but it's not that big of a deal. Just gonna take out Borgos here. Toro's already pretty close to death. Then we'll be done with this fight. Start with 200 seconds, so you have to beat by 60 counts if you want the 140 seconds, but again, with regeneration, this battle goes much quicker because you'll have more type advantage units that are way stronger than mine. We actually have enough ki to just finish Tora off here without floating. So we'd be close to the 60-second mark. If we did a little bit less Mugi boosting and more comboing out, we probably actually would have beat that.
I wonder what you taste like.
Oh no, that's the second time we got hit. We'll bring Mai back out. And Mai died. That's how strong the computer is. They're quite strong. But not strong enough. Provided he doesn't guess my Rising Rush anyway. We may have spoken too soon, because the AI just knows things. No, okay. If the AI wants to guess your Rising Rush, it's going to get guessed. Alright, so that is the technique right there that you would use to completely destroy all of the AI stages we mentioned before, using the team builds I recommended, or some variations of them, depending on what you have available. I'm not trying to be here telling people this is the only way to do it, or this is how you have to do it. No, this is just how I got through it. I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there finding success. Moving on to the 5th stage. This one is actually fairly unique because you're fighting just the last man standing. Bardock by himself, 14 star, red stars all the way. What I used for this one, now, you have this option down here of using this Pod Frieza. That is a very good option for free-to-play players or people that, you know, might have not been able to get the LF Namek Goku, because he is an incredible asset on this stage for getting the stage done extremely quickly. Now, we're using this specific team right here for this clear because we're going for the 2 yellow units. You have to use 2 yellow units. Of course, Bardock is red. So we're just going to bring these guys here with no equipment whatsoever. Again, remember their death passives here. And that is what we are going to be looking at. We're just going to let these yellow characters die. Of course, Gohan is quite similar. And they're going to buff the bejesus out of LF Namek Goku. And he should be able to clear the fight extremely quickly. Now, the other challenge is bringing 2 EX units. For that one, I just did the same strategy, and I brought the Namek Krillin and the Namek Gohan, these guys right here. So you have this Krillin right here. When he dies, he's going to buff the crap out of that Goku, and this guy right here. And that was my 2 EX units, and the, Goku cleaned up. The Bardock quite easy on that attempt also. Now, if you're not going to run those 2 specific teams, say you don't have the LF Namek Goku, again, I would highly recommend using the Pod Frieza. You could use the Pod Frieza with like the yellow EX Pod Frieza and just any other throwaway yellow LOE or Frieza Force unit like, full power Final Form Frieza. And the Pod Frieza with the boost is pretty capable of cleaning up this event fairly quickly by himself also. But I just figured I would do one clear of this battle here just to show you all this also. And then we'll wrap up this video. You could also just, PvP for me has just been, I've been consistently using my Fusions team. It is just Fusions for me because unfortunately I didn't get Broly. I could make a PvP video showcase, but I just don't want to repetitively make that same video over and over again. But outside of that, we're just waiting on some news about what we might be seeing next, maybe another Video and Stuff podcast coming soon. Of course, I will keep you updated. Jumping into the fight here. Alright, let's kill Bardock real quick. Boom! Oh, almost one-shot us, but that's okay. He's just here to die anyway. Same thing with Gohan here. We don't even really need to do Gohan's ult. Removing the stats really won't affect anything, because Bardock will just stack a whole bunch of buffs on after the fact anyway. So, goodbye, you two. Now, stalling until Goku can transform, that's actually not a terrible idea. So let me try and survive for just a little bit with Gohan here. And just float stepping the computer away to oblivion. That should be enough time. Perfect. Came right out with an angry Kamehameha there. Probably gonna perfect vanish this card. Yep. That worked out well. That didn't. That did. Okay. Whatever. Start floating here. I'm doing massive quantities of damage to Bardock. I don't really want to waste the Rising Rush right now. What the heck? Because, don't want to waste the Rising Rush right now because it's not going to get him anywhere close to death. Wait till he has about 4 or 5 bars left before we do that. Alright, transform, got a bunch of health back. Just going to keep doing our thing. Between each float, the key just shoots back up. And we have our main. We can actually activate that. Okay, now he's got his immunity. At this point, I mean, I know the computer probably has this Rising Rush up, but he hasn't even touched us once at this point. Our card costs so low we can just keep floating for forever. Float all the way until his passive is done. We're gonna win within the time limit here easily as well. This is kind of nutty. This is kind of nutty, y'all. Well, I didn't hit that. Oh well. Still works. Oh, what? What is that? Oh, okay. Well, you can see, using that Mugi Boost technique, Bardock did not even lay a single finger on Goku. Goku just kind of chewed right through, what was it, 17, 18 health bars? I don't even know, because he restored his health like once, twice maybe. Every time he used a red card, health comes back too. That is irrelevant. We just showed off just how ridiculously insane that technique is. Now again, you could do that with Pod Frieza. The damage numbers, actually because he's a boost unit, they might be somewhat similar, but Frieza's kit doesn't really allow for probably that forever attack that we just did right there, that infinite combo basically against the computer. He would probably run out of key and card draw speed, maybe? I don't know, you could probably work it out. I'm not going to play it again just because I don't want the video to go on for too long. But that was how to cheese out this entire Bardock event. I hope this guide was somewhat useful to you. It was helpful, entertaining, informative, something out of that list. You know, maybe all of the above, who knows. If you did enjoy it, consider leaving a thumbs up on it. Help spread it out on YouTube. I supremely appreciate each and every one of you guys that watch the videos and comment on them, like them, etc. Helps just all the algorithms, helps out everything. So thank you very much. If you are new around here, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so I can see you again on future uploads. And definitely let me know down in the comments, how were your experiences with this challenge rush? Did you also think it was considerably easier than previous ones? Are you struggling? Any particular stages you're having problems with? Just let me know whatever's on your mind down below. I love to hear it. You guys stay safe out there. It's very boring times. Hopefully, we'll be getting some new games here very soon. I know Final Fantasy VII will be coming. That's something that I would actually consider streaming. And then the Predator Hunting Grounds game later in the month of April. So quite a bit of time ahead of us until all this is over with. Again, stay safe. Try not to get too bored. And I'll see you again very soon. Peace out. Have a great day.